What's good, gamers? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're diving deep into the PS5 vault to count down the 30 games that are absolutely worth dropping your hard-earned cash on. No buyer's remorse here, people. These are the titles that'll make you forget you just spent $70 because you'll be too busy having your mind blown. Before we jump in, smash that like button if you've ever bought a game at full price and immediately regretted it. We've all been there. And don't forget to subscribe because we've got more gaming goodness coming your way every week. Alright, let's get into it. Starting us off at number 30, Kena, Bridge of Spirits. This game is basically what happens when Pixar decides to make a video game and absolutely nails it. The visual fidelity on PS5 is so crisp you'll think you're watching a movie, but then you remember you're actually controlling this adorable action-adventure masterpiece. The world design here is chef's kiss. We're talking lush forests, crumbling temples, and those little rot companions that are so cute you'll want to squeeze your controller. The combat feels weighty and satisfying, especially with the DualSense haptic feedback making every arrow shot feel like you're actually drawing a bowstring. Trust me, this indie gem punches way above its weight class. Number 29, Gran Turismo 7. Look, I know what you're thinking, it's just a racing game, bro. Wrong. This is an automotive love letter that happens to have racing in it. The car models are so detailed you can practically smell the leather seats through your TV. The DualSense implementation here is absolutely bonkers. You can feel the difference between driving on asphalt versus gravel, and when your tires start losing grip, your controller literally tells you before your eyes do. It's like having a racing instructor built into your hands. Plus, the career mode actually teaches you about car culture and racing history. It's educational and fun. Your parents would be proud. At number 28, Deathloop. This game is like Groundhog Day met Dishonored at a really wild party, and 9 months later we got this absolute banger. You're stuck in a time loop on this retro-futuristic island, and the only way out is to eliminate 8 targets in a single day. Sounds impossible, that's the whole point. The world design screams 1970s spy thriller with a supernatural twist, and the voice acting between Colt and Juliana is some of the best banter in gaming. The gunplay feels crispy, the powers are creative, and figuring out the perfect assassination sequence is like solving the world's deadliest puzzle. Plus, the invasion multiplayer where another player can hunt you as Juliana, chef's kiss pure chaos. Number 27, Astro's Playroom. Okay, technically this came free with your PS5, but hear me out, this little robot proved that the DualSense controller isn't just a gimmick. This game is a PlayStation history museum wrapped in the most charming platformer you'll play all year. Every world celebrates a different PlayStation era, and the attention to detail is insane. You'll literally feel raindrops on the controller, experience different textures as Astro walks across surfaces, and the adaptive triggers make every action feel unique. It's short, sweet, and proves that sometimes the best things in life really are free. Well, sort of free, you did buy a PS5 after all. Number 26, Bugsnax. This game is absolutely unhinged in the best possible way. You're investigating an island full of creatures that are half bug, half snack food. Yes, you read that right, strawberry spiders, hamburger beetles. It sounds like a fever dream, but it works so well. The mystery storyline gets genuinely dark and twisted as you dig deeper, and the characters have more depth than most AAA protagonists. Plus, catching these bizarre creatures with improvised contraptions is addictive as heck. It's weird, it's wonderful, and it'll stick with you long after the credits roll. Kinda bug and kinda snack, but definitely worth your cash. Number 25, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. This game makes you feel like you're starring in your own samurai movie, and the PS5 version cranks that feeling up to 11. The island of Tsushima is so gorgeous you'll spend half your time just taking screenshots with photo mode. Jin's journey from honorable samurai to the legendary ghost is storytelling at its finest, and the combat, butter smooth. Every sword clash, every perfectly timed parry, every stealth assassination, it all flows like a deadly dance. The Iki Island expansion adds even more emotional depth, and the Japanese voice acting with subtitles is the only way to experience this masterpiece. Seriously, if you play it in English, we can't be friends. At number 24, Little Big Planet 3. This platformer proves that creativity and charm can overcome any technical hiccup. Sackboy and friends deliver a platforming experience that's equal parts adorable and challenging, with a level editor so robust that the community is still making incredible content. The handcrafted aesthetic is timeless, and playing co-op with friends is guaranteed chaos in the best way possible. Sure, it's not the newest game on this list, but good design is good design, and LBP3 has personality for days. Plus, where else can you play as a character made of literal fabric and feel this emotionally attached? Number 23, Spider-Man, Miles Morales. This isn't just Spider-Man DLC, this is Miles coming into his own as a hero, and boy does he do it in style. The web swinging feels even better than the original, and Miles' unique powers like Venom, Blast, and Invisibility add fresh combat options. New York in winter is absolutely stunning, especially with the PS5's ray-traced reflections making every building window look photorealistic. The story hits hard emotionally, dealing with family, responsibility, and finding your own path. Plus, that suit selection, Chef's Kiss, the Into the Spider-Verse suit alone is worth the price of admission. Number 22, Horizon Forbidden West. Aloy is back, and she brought friends mechanical dinosaur friends that want to eat your face. This post-apocalyptic world where nature has reclaimed everything is absolutely breathtaking on PS5. We're talking about environments so detailed you can see individual leaves rustling in the wind. The combat system got a major upgrade: underwater exploration, new weapons, and machine overrides that turn your enemies into temporary allies. The story dives deeper into the mystery of the apocalypse, and without spoiling anything, let's just say your jaw will hit the floor multiple times. Plus, climbing and gliding around this world never gets old. Number 21, Demon's Souls. The remake that made grown gamers cry both from beauty and absolute frustration. This is the game that started the Souls phenomenon, and Bluepoint Games didn't just remaster it, they completely rebuilt it from the ground up. The atmosphere in Boltarian Palace is so thick you could cut it with a sword, and speaking of swords, the combat feels weighty and deliberate. Every enemy encounter could be your last, and that tension never lets up. The graphics are so good they make other games look like they're from the PS2 era. Just maybe invest in a second controller because you will throw the first one. Number 20, Elden Ring. From Software took the Dark Souls formula and said, what if we made it open world and even more beautiful? The result is a masterpiece that'll consume your life for 100+ hours, and you'll thank it for the privilege. The Lands Between is possibly the most stunning game world ever created, and exploring it on foot or horseback is pure joy. The boss fights are legendary. Margit alone will teach you humility real quick. George R.R. Martin's influence on the lore is evident everywhere, creating a mythology that's both familiar and completely alien. Fair warning, this game will ruin other RPGs for you. Number 19, The Last of Us Part II. Controversial, maybe. Absolutely incredible, definitely. This game pushed boundaries in storytelling, character development, and emotional manipulation, and I mean that in the best way possible. The world design shows nature reclaiming Seattle in the most beautiful and terrifying ways, and the infected encounters will have you checking corners for weeks afterward. The combat is visceral and weighty, making every confrontation feel desperate and real. Say what you want about the story choices, but you cannot deny the technical and artistic achievement here. It's a masterclass in interactive storytelling. Number 18, God of War. Kratos went from angry rage monster to, well, still pretty angry, but now he's a dad. This soft reboot took everything great about the series and matured it into something special. The relationship between Kratos and Atreus carries the entire emotional weight of the story. The one-take camera technique makes the whole game feel like an epic movie, and the combat system perfectly balances Kratos' brutal efficiency with tactical depth. The Norse mythology setting is gorgeous and feels lived in, and don't even get me started on how good the Leviathan axe feels to throw. Boy, chef's kiss. Number 17, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart. This game is basically a tech demo for the PS5's SSD, but it happens to also be an incredible platformer shooter. The dimension-hopping mechanics aren't just gimmicks, they're integrated perfectly into both gameplay and storytelling. Rivet is a fantastic addition to the franchise, and her dynamic with Kit mirrors Ratchet and Clank beautifully. The weapons are absolutely bonkers. We're talking about guns that turn enemies into topiary animals. The visuals are Pixar quality, and the loading times are so fast you'll think your console is broken. In the best way possible. Number 16, Battlefield 2042. Okay, hear me out, I know this game had a rough launch, but DICE has turned it around completely. The massive 128-player battles are absolute chaos, and the destructible environments still impress years later. The specialist system adds tactical depth, and the weather effects are genuinely game-changing, literally. Getting caught in a tornado is both terrifying and hilarious. Portal mode lets you play with weapons and maps from across the franchise's history. It's not perfect, but when it works, it really works. Plus, the community has stuck around, so finding matches is never a problem. Number 15, Cyberpunk 2077, the comeback story of the generation. After a disastrous launch, CD Projekt Red spent years fixing this game, and now, it's actually incredible. Night City is the most detailed open world ever created. Every street corner tells a story. The main storyline with Johnny Silverhand, yes, Keanu Reeves, is phenomenal, and the side quests have more depth than most games' main campaigns. The gunplay feels great, the hacking mechanics are satisfying, and the character customization is extensive. If you wrote this off after launch, it's time to give it another shot. This is the game we were promised. Number 14, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Vikings, mythological creatures, and political intrigue, what more do you want? Eivør's journey through Dark Ages England is epic in every sense of the word. The world is massive, the combat is satisfying, and the story weaves historical events with Assassin's Creed lore perfectly. The settlement building adds a personal touch that makes you invested in more than just the main character, and the raids, pure adrenaline. Plus, the post-launch content has been consistently excellent. It's long, maybe too long, but when you're having this much fun, who's complaining? Number 13, Final Fantasy XVI. This game took the FF formula and injected it with pure adrenaline. The Icon battles are absolutely spectacular. We're talking kaiju-level destruction that'll melt your retinas in the best way possible. Clive's story is mature and emotionally complex, dealing with themes of slavery, war, and revenge without pulling punches. The combat system strikes the perfect balance between accessibility and depth, and the world building is top tier. Plus, the English voice acting is some of the best in the series. It might not have turn-based combat, but it's still unmistakably Final Fantasy. Number 12, Returnal. This game is what happens when you mix Metroid with Groundhog Day and sprinkle in some cosmic horror. Every death sends you back to the beginning, but the world changes each time, keeping you on your toes constantly. The DualSense implementation is chef's kiss perfect. The adaptive triggers change how weapons feel, and the 3D audio makes every alien creature sound like it's breathing down your neck. The story is told through environmental details and audio logs, creating this haunting narrative about trauma and cycles. It's challenging, beautiful, and absolutely unique. Number 11, Spider-Man Remastered. Insomniac Games understood the assignment. Make players feel like they are Spider-Man, not just controlling him. The web swinging through Manhattan is pure joy. You'll spend hours just traveling around the city because it feels so good. The combat system perfectly captures Spidey's acrobatic fighting style, and the story hits all the right emotional beats. The suit variety is incredible, and each one changes how the game feels. The remastered version's ray tracing makes the city look photorealistic, especially during those golden hour swinging sessions. This is superhero gaming done right. Number 10, Resident Evil 4 Remake. Capcom took a perfect game and somehow made it even better. The updated graphics make every zombie encounter terrifying, and the modernized controls feel incredible without losing the original's charm. Leon's character development is subtle but effective, and Ada Wong, still mysterious and awesome. The inventory management is satisfying in that weird way only RE fans understand, and the merchant is still the best NPC in gaming history. The village fight sequence will get your heart pumping just like it did in 2005. Number 9, Hogwarts Legacy. This is the Harry Potter game we've been waiting our entire lives for. The recreation of Hogwarts is absolutely mind-blowing. Every portrait, every moving staircase, every secret passage is exactly where it should be. The spell combat system is incredibly satisfying, especially with the DualSense haptic feedback making every spell feel unique. The story is original but feels authentic to the wizarding world, and the character customization lets you create the witch or wizard you always imagined yourself as. Flying around the Highlands on a broomstick never gets old. Number 8, God of War Ragnarök. The conclusion to the Norse saga delivers everything you could want: epic boss fights, emotional character moments, and some of the best combat in gaming. Watching Kratos and Atreus' relationship evolve is beautiful and heartbreaking. The new realms are absolutely stunning, and the variety in environments keeps things fresh throughout the lengthy campaign. The accessibility options are incredible, making sure everyone can experience this masterpiece. Plus, that ending, no spoilers but bring tissues. Number 7, Baldur's Gate 3. This game redefined what RPGs could be. The amount of choice and consequence is staggering, every decision matters, and the ripple effects can be felt dozens of hours later. The writing is top tier, with characters that feel like real people with their own motivations and flaws. The turn-based combat is strategic and satisfying, and the voice acting is phenomenal across the board. The romance options are well-written and meaningful, not just tacked-on fan service. This is a game you can replay multiple times and have completely different experiences. It's not just a game, it's a digital dungeon master. Number 6, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt Complete Edition. Even years later, this game still sets the standard for open-world RPGs. Geralt's final adventure is epic in scope but intimate in storytelling, and the side quests have more depth than most games' main stories. The world feels alive and lived in, and the choices you make have real consequences that echo throughout the entire experience. The DLC content is basically 2 full games worth of content, making this one of the best value propositions in gaming. Plus, Gwent is still the best mini-game ever created. Fight me. Number 5, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Yes, it's so good it deserves 2 spots. The Legends multiplayer mode transforms this single-player masterpiece into a cooperative samurai fantasy. The Iki Island expansion adds emotional depth to Jin's character that rivals the main story. The photo mode is so good that PlayStation's social media is basically just Ghost of Tsushima screenshots, and rightfully so. Every frame of this game could be a wallpaper. The Kurosawa mode makes you feel like you're playing through a classic samurai film. This is art disguised as a video game. Number 4, Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. Aloy's first adventure is still incredible, and the PS5 version makes it look better than ever. The mystery of what happened to the old world is expertly revealed through environmental storytelling and audio logs. Fighting robot dinosaurs with a bow and arrow never stops being satisfying, and each machine requires different tactics to take down effectively. The Frozen Wilds DLC adds some of the best content in the game, with improved facial animations and even more stunning environments. This is world building at its finest. Number 3. Bloodborne, the cosmic horror masterpiece that makes you question your sanity, both in-game and in real life. Iharnam is one of the most atmospheric locations in gaming, and every area tells a story through its twisted architecture and grotesque inhabitants. The combat is faster and more aggressive than Dark Souls, rewarding players who take risks and stay on the offensive. The trick weapons are creative and satisfying to master, and the boss fights are legendary. Looking at you, Father Gascoigne. The DLC adds some of the best content From Software has ever created. This game will haunt your dreams in the best way possible. Number 2. Red Dead Redemption 2. This isn't just a game, it's a living, breathing world that you happen to play a role in. Arthur Morgan's story is one of the best redemption arcs in any medium, and the attention to detail is absolutely insane. You can spend hours just existing in this world, hunting, fishing, playing poker, or just riding through the countryside. The graphics are so good they make other games look like cartoons, and the character interactions feel completely natural. This is the closest thing to time travel we have. You'll genuinely feel like you're living in the Old West. And finally, number 1, The Last of Us Part I, the remake that proves some stories are timeless. Joel and Ellie's journey across post-apocalyptic America is gaming's greatest emotional roller coaster, and the updated graphics make every moment even more impactful. The infected encounters are terrifying with the improved AI and visuals, and the quiet character moments hit even harder with the enhanced performances. The accessibility features ensure everyone can experience this masterpiece, and the multiple difficulty options cater to all skill levels. This is more than a game, it's an experience that will stay with you forever. The relationship between Joel and Ellie is the heart of everything, and their journey together showcases the best of what video games can achieve as a storytelling medium. It's beautiful, heartbreaking, and absolutely essential. And there you have it, gamers, 30 PS5 games that are absolutely worth every penny. Did your favorite make the list? Did I miss any hidden gems that deserve a spot? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If this video helped you decide on your next gaming purchase, smash that like button and consider subscribing for more gaming content every week. We've got reviews, guides, and countdowns coming your way regularly. What's the best full-price game you've ever bought? And more importantly, what's the worst? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing your gaming horror stories and success stories. Until next time, keep gaming and remember your backlog can wait, but these experiences can't. Peace out, gamers.